Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Gamer, and we are going in for the finale of our Master of Command series. So I had to drop by Hasenpoth here just for a second to buy a couple of things, but we will now be facing the enemy headquarters, and we will actually be attacking them rather than them having to come to us. Now, before we do that, I want to show you the army that I have built in our rearrangement here in between episodes. So this are the guys that are gonna go for the finale here. I'm gonna spend a couple of minutes talking about them, and then we're gonna go into the proper fight. Now, the core of our army is, of course, the Light Brigade under von Schmettenau. These guys are fantastic. I mean, even the normal ones, they typically have reload times here on the 2.9 second scale. They've got excellent accuracy, around 100, except for the Evade Feldjägers. These guys have a whooping accuracy of 143. So that's pretty fantastic. The way that these guys achieve that is they got the ammo consumption reduction because they're going to shoot that off so quickly that yeah, it's just going to be required. We also have the military treaties, that is the open order accuracy, so I think that is not even figured into this. So actually we are going to be much more accurate than that. They also got these cover things to increase their charge resistance a little bit. They've got good T, mostly for the accuracy, but also for the reload. They've got champions for the accuracy. They've got ramrods for the accuracy and the reload. They've got a couple of pocket Bibles, because why not? The decrease in fire damage is going to be useful. And most of them have these slippers, I guess. But these guys here, on the other hand, have the marksman. So I really like the accuracy on these guys. I'm going to see how desperate they're going to be. Yeah, that's pretty much our Light Brigade. These guys are all pretty much set up in the same way over here, and I even arranged the order so that they're all pretty similar and you guys can quickly. Then we've got our line infantry. These are all Prussian Life Guards. And these guys have been called the pioneers, or the combat engineers in English. And most of these guys are pretty much the same. They've got some cover, they've got T for the accuracy and reload stuff. They've got military treaties that give them reload, ammo consumption reduction, also some Bibles, and some cover bonuses here on. So these three are all pretty similar in that regard, and they, I think, are pretty good. Excellent reload time still, around 4.5, 6, 7 seconds, something like that. A pretty good accuracy, and of course, just much stronger than these guys. So that's basically all of them. They're going to be in good cover, and they've got a bit of cover efficiency bonus here coming in from the headquarters. But of course, our combat engineers here, they are just on a different level in that regard. They've got good cover. They've got cover bonus plus 25%, plus 40%, plus 30%. So that's pretty fantastic. These guys are going to be the linchpin of our defense. But they also have excellent accuracy. And look at the range here with these Jäger rifles, with these excellent Jäger rifles. They've got a range of 215. That's sort of the base range of some artillery pieces, or almost. So yeah, they're going to be in the center. Otherwise, they are pretty much set up the same way. Then we've got the heavy brigades. These are our grenadiers. They're really built for melee, especially the Freikorps grenadiers here. So they've got the charge bonus. They all carry excellent bagpipers. They carry some grenades, typically some buck and shot or buckshot. They've got some good shoes so that they can move in a little bit faster when they do need to close for melee. And they typically carry coffee rather than tea. Again, a little bit for the movement speed, but also the reload is nice. They're okay. They're around the 15 to 20 second mark. They've got some sort of melee reduction, either coats or the blanket rolls. And they typically carry a couple of crosses just so that they get a bit of more motivation before they charge in. And they've got pretty good modifiers on that, I think. Stamina, charge, morale, grenade throw range, and melee damage. So yeah, I really like that. They should hopefully be doing well. We've got our cavalry. That's the two Hussar regiments here. Again, pretty much similar layout with just movement speed and charge. They are around 100 or so. Yeah, 101 charge. Pretty good movement speed, 95 on both of these guys. They both carry some carbines, just to give up a couple of shots before they charge in. Then we've got the Cuirassiers, who are more there for the staying power, for the melee damage, 111. Similar layout though, the only thing that's different is they carry beer for the melee damage, rather than the spirits for the charge bonus. Yeah, other than that, pretty much the same, I would say. Except, of course, they do carry the appropriate pieces here with the heavy saddles rather than the light ones, and the Frisian horses rather than the Hungarian ones. All of this stuff is typically excellent, so that's nice. We've got the Byword Dragoons, they carry Novaranian horses, light saddles for the movement speed. They do actually get ramrods. I'm not sure how well they can be used on horses, but they are doing that. Good saddles and all of that, so these guys are more really to go ahead and shoot. Notice they also have a reload time of 2.8 seconds, normally. I think that might change over time, and they've got a bit better accuracy. Does that figure in? Yeah, the officer does figure that. So, yeah. Hopefully these guys can be used effectively. And then lastly, we do have our artillery corps. That is the horse brigade. They're a bit differently set up, all of them. So we've got these guys here with the Liechtenstein gun. That is very much long range build. Fire time 20 seconds, but yeah, it's pretty much about the long range fire. I didn't really find good stuff to give to them, so they do have Bibles. I don't think that's really going to be required. And might as well. Also the canteens here for the stamina. Then we've got the guys here in red. They have a bit of a similar build-up, except with a sort of lighter gun. Still, they're a little bit built for range, otherwise pretty similar there. Just a little bit faster firing at a lower range. Then we've got these orange guys here. These are built around the canister shot and a very fast accuracy. I did give them these guys here for the ammo consumption reduction because they're going to be firing off so quickly that I think that's going to be useful. They also get a bit of more movement speed here, just so that they can move into position. No, sorry, that it... Why are you actually lower than that? Because of this, movement speed +8, and you just have a bit more stamina. I think we're going to exchange these quickly. You're gonna get these shoes, and you're actually gonna get these. Okay, there we go. Right, I would like these to be moving a little bit faster so that they can get their canister shots in a bit more effectively. And then lastly, we've got the howitzer here, which again is built to really, really shoot extremely fast, 3.4 seconds. I call these guys my mortars, basically. Yeah, that's it. Let's go for it. And it's exciting because I've never really attacked an enemy force like this, but here we are. 15,000 men against their 22,000. Let's look at what they have in the Battle of Hasenpoth. They are actually cheating. They've got more brigades than we do. That's unfortunate. I didn't know that was a thing. Okay, so 3 artillery pieces down here and a 4th one up there. Relatively little artillery, I have to say. Although these seem to be pretty good pieces. I see a lot of bronze here. I see at least 2 howitzer pieces. I think this is a very heavy piece. This might be a 6-pounder. I don't know whether they think that they are going to have superiority. Probably they will, and they won't directly attack us against our 4 pieces here. We can actually compare that, right? That looks a little bit like this. Yeah, so that's probably a 6-pounder. That's a heavier piece. Well, we'll see about that. Then they've got a bit of cavalry, but not that much, honestly. A couple of Don Cossacks, settled hussars. They haven't been too much of a problem, although if they stick back, that means that our cavalry is probably not gonna beat theirs. I think we'll keep our cavalry a little bit in reserve to countercharge them when they do come in. Cuirassiers, they are a bit more dangerous, but we'll deal with them, I guess. And then we've got Russian veteran musketeers. Russian veteran musketeers, Russian veteran musketeers, Russian grenadiers. Observation fusiliers, grenadiers, grenadiers, grenadiers. Lifeguards, named lifeguards, I don't like that. And more cuirassiers, actually. Didn't even notice that these are horses. 50 melee compared to 40 melee. This is nasty. And a lot more grenadiers. Good officers too. Yeah. So the main thing is they are very, very infantry heavy, it looks like. So they're going to build a very long line. Now that has advantages. Let's look at the map that we're going to get. Whether we're going to build a broad line or narrow one. I'm thinking of not being too fanciful, of sticking to a line backed by our artillery and our cavalry in reserve. But the terrain is going to have some impact on that. So we've got the river over here, which is interesting. Other than that, it's pretty open terrain. We were fairly successful, I have to say, with this. But that does mean that we're going to be flanked pretty badly on the left side. So far that hasn't been a huge issue. And we could in fact deal with that by anchoring a little bit of grenadiers over here. Keeping our main force on this. How broad are you guys if I put you in line? Okay, you are actually in line. Okay, so that's about 1, 2, 3, 4. We could anchor them around there. That would of course mean that the corner here with the hill is very exposed. So I don't think we can bring them all the way back. We would potentially need to extend a little bit, at least sort of like that, so that the corner isn't completely exposed. What alternatives do we have? Could try to advance much further on this ridge line. The ridge line here is very nice. I mean, you've got hills, you've got this, you've got that, you've got another little hamlet here, and another hill. But it's so far away that if they advance, I think we'd be very much caught out in limbo. The other alternative is up over here. And I kind of like that because we couldn't really be flanked, and they'd be coming through this little gully? River? I don't know. Is it flowing to the right? Okay, it's flowing to the right. That's funny because it just ends here somewhere. So it must go underground. Right. How are we going to do that? We would have a bit of formation. We could have a bit of cover here in this hedge. A bit of cover here in this hedge. They would be coming at us, but they would be fairly slow. We would be pretty much in the open with all of our other infantry. We could build a linchpin on this hill, but they would be coming through the woods. I kind of dislike that. We could put some people in here, but that would mean that they are open to be flanked from kind of all sides. Although, sort of arching it down here on the right, that might be okay. And this looks like a strong position, I have to say. We could put Jägers and an infantry in there, but that would mean that I think we actually would need to get into this here to cover any approach from that side. Now, I'm not sure that this counts as cover. If it does, we could actually sort of go in the river and watch quite a bit of this area here when they do come along. The question is it cover or not? I mean, it's forest. It's a bit of forest. I don't think there's any way I can tell. They would have some cover coming in. But again, that charge, I think, especially... I like it. You know what? I want to play around with this river. It's maybe a mistake because I haven't ever done that yet. But let's see about that. So, I think what we're going to do is we're going to put our sort of pioneers, the black and gold guys, into this position here. They've got the range to really dominate this. They would be in cover, so that would be another benefit to them. So I think that would be fantastic. Let's make sure that we're going to get there in time. That's going to be the pioneer. Then I think we need someone a little bit set back here who has got good firepower. I'm going to pick these guys, I guess. We're going to move them like that. And you know what I'm going to do is, for the first time I think, I'm really going to talk these bayonets. I tend to not do that because it's a little bit more micro heavy. But I think it's going to be worthwhile. Right, you're going to be here then. Where are other infantry groups going to be? I think we're going to keep our general, or sort of battalion commander, brigade I think commander, from Schmettenau. He can be in here, so he can support the pioneers a little bit. And he's going to be in this ridgeline. Let's see. That does leave us with one unit of proper infantry. I'm thinking it should probably go on the right here to cover our flank. Potentially in this forest. The forest is too small. How exactly am I gonna arch back? I have one group here, which might be anchoring in the forest itself, right? I think you guys might want to go on the hill. We'd be extending with our main line here into this open field. That would expose our left flank, and we'll need to do something about our left flank. Where are they gonna come down? So, I think it would be alright. There's only sort of one group that would be coming in on our left. And I don't think our Grenadiers want to be on this, in this area. Because they can't really charge across the river. So maybe instead keep you guys on the far left. So go this, that. That would mean our right flank is very much exposed. But I do have confidence in our pioneer troops. So that's going to be alright. The pioneers are going to be supported immediately in front of them by the Evade Feldjägers. They're also going to be in this little hamlet. This is a little bit like the Battle of Waterloo, right? Where all is about one hamlet that changes hands a couple of times. I forgot the name about that, of that. Well, I'll remember it at some point, I guess. Right, so let's move these guys back so I've got a bit of a better overview. Right, so yeah, I do think that makes sense. The right-hand side is going to be slightly exposed again. So what we're going to do on the right-hand side then is I think we're going to bring a couple of Grenadiers here on our right. And that's probably the Freikorps Grenadier on the far right, so that they can sort of down here. Maybe on the hill. Maybe a little bit, probably on the hill. Or probably arched a little bit downwards. Right, and I'm also going to pick the yellow guys. You're going to be supporting. I think on the far left flank it might make sense to have one Grenadiers. We're going to pull the blue guys very far here on the left as sort of a backup. Engage anyone, potentially run over the river and charge them in their flank. If they do keep it open, that's fine. That means the third group here can actually go here too. I'm a little bit reluctant to do that because we have experienced that our Grenadiers, when they were sort of hanging on an open flank, they were in a bit of a challenge because when the enemy comes hooking around them, they didn't have sort of the space to develop. They're very good at charging one enemy, but if there are two further enemies up over here, they're going to be shot in the flank while they're doing that. Nevertheless, I think it might be okay. Right, then the rest of the Jägers. I think we have one over here. I'm a little bit more concerned about the situation on the right, so we're going to put these Jägers here. At least two groups on the right and try to bludgeon in anyone who's coming in there. And I think we might actually do that with all four of our Jägers, so that they are supporting the Grenadiers and sort of taking a little bit of pressure from them, and we can put them in. By the way, I was trying to find out something. So you guys are round shot volley fire. Okay, that's volley fire. Free fire. No, you're still on. Okay, so they might not actually benefit from that. Okay, that's just something that I want to check out. Right. Okay. Nevertheless, okay, that leaves us with all of our infantry, all of our Jägers on the right. And the only question is, do we want to exchange these two guys? I think potentially yes, so that you can give your blue circle benefit to a couple of guys on your right. Okay, that's fine. What else then? What about our artillery? I think most of our artillery, we can put, I think, the canister shot guys. They would need to be sort of in a little gap. I'm tempted to put them in here. They should be dominating this field. Other alternative, actually put them in here. Cover the right. Leave a little bit gap for our infantry. I think that might make sense. Yeah, right. That's what we're gonna do. You're gonna come in this gap. You're gonna be backed up by our long-range guns that are gonna be on the hill just behind you. And then the rapid-fire guns, the 3.5 seconds, which effectively turn to 10 seconds when we're looking close at it. I think we're gonna bring them a little bit further to the left so that they can support the main line there. I don't want to weaken that too much. We're putting a lot of strength here on the right flank. And I know this is taking long, but I really want to get this right. Okay, Freikorps, Hussars, Cuirassiers, Dragoons. I think we're gonna keep all of them as a backup. Except for the Dragoons. They can develop a little bit more independently on the right here. Maybe with one Hussar group. That should be okay. Maybe distract the enemy a little bit, make them come in a little bit more slowly. Okay. I think that's it. Our king, you can go on this hill, watch the battle. There we go. King, go on this thing. You guys move up to your designated positions. Yeah, I think yeah, that's fine. Right. A little bit more like this for the artillery. Yes, I think I like that. These guys go up here. Fantastic. Most of the grenadiers will be supporting the right. Maybe we can do a fighting retreat here from the hill so that we buy a little bit of time for our left flank. Let's do it like this. And then the Jaegers, I think we can just draw them out like such. Yeah, I like it. Freikorps, you're gonna be in this position. Cuirassiers, a little bit to the right of that. Go. Whew, I'm nervous. I'm actually nervous. I mean, we've got good forces and we know that, but the enemy there's just so many of them. Right, this artillery piece. Just maybe move it in this little forest here. Just behind that, I think. You're not gonna be outflanked. Right. Did I tell you to pack that? Yes, I did. The Dragoons. So, how much difference does that actually make? A bit, but you're fast, so we're gonna keep that. And before I forget this, these guys are all gonna be locked to melee. You can discharge your weapons when it comes to that, but not before, please. Whew. Notice how fast these guys are going at the time with their shoes, with their newly acquired shoes. That's really fun. They're not even running. This is running. Okay, I don't see that much of a difference. No, it is a bit of a difference there. Okay. Well, and here's the thing again. Freikorps Jaegers. Actually, do run up a little bit. If we can get rid of a field artillery, I'm gonna be so happy about that. Right. Grenadiers are also super fast, and we can see that this does count as at least a little bit of cover, so happy about that. Right, let's extend that. I'm gonna pause here just every now and then to make sure that we've got this kind of well covered. You're gonna be like that. Then you guys go up here. The pioneers in a line stretching this way. Whew. Well, our last lifeguards, they're over here. They're gonna leave a little bit of a gap for you guys. Need to turn a little bit. Yeah, you're only gonna be sort of in partial cover here. And I wish that these guys had the fire by line, but they don't. I think we need to actually be a little bit further to the front because the left side is going to meet earlier. And go like that. You can run the last couple of meters here, please. The Grenadiers then. The Ayurveda Jägers, the only disadvantage that I see with these guys is that they are a bit too slow. Come on, guys. Shoot. Shoot, shoot, kill them. Yes, yes. Very lovely. Continue shooting. I don't see any cavalry coming in for us right now. Indeed, they seem to be setting up their guns. Okay, you guys are running, aren't you? No, you are not. You should be running. Okay, the cuirassiers then are coming towards us a little bit. But if we can break the artillery, that would be such a big win. Okay. Wait a minute. Whew. Okay. I know, slow going, but I think so valuable. Right, you guys unlimber. You guys unlimber. Lifeguards are setting up over here. These Freikorps Jägers are going to be pulled a little bit to the front here. These guys are going to be pulled a little bit to the front. Grenadiers, I think you need to develop a little bit more of a wider line. But then, otherwise, that should be okay. You guys are up over here. You can unlimber too. And Freddy, keep a watchful eye on everything. You run, you run, you run. Just a few meters. Freikorps Hussars can run too. Okay, let's continue this. I'm very worried about these cuirassiers. But I'm greedy. Shoot them, shoot them, shoot them. They're retreating. The cuirassiers are being engaged, I think. Ooh, we shattered all of them. Okay, so anything else that we wanna attack with our guys here? I don't think so. So they've been all... We killed all of the artillery? No, there's at least one more piece there. But that's a nice win. Right. Get back into position, please. And you can run. Because I'm worried about... You don't need to run anymore. Because I'm worried about the cuirassiers. Okay, cuirassiers are not doing much. In that case... Do continue to harass them, basically. It's a nice position, especially when they're moving. Okay, I think cuirassiers need to come back. The immediate danger here has passed. Yeah, just look at how fast our guys are firing. This is so devastating to them. Okay, but they are gonna start shooting soon. And I would rather not be exposed to enemy grenadiers in the open. You guys are going to come under fire here soon. Let's briefly check on our cavalry here, because I don't want them to run face head into enemy veteran musketeers or grenadiers. So you'll need to actually pull back a little bit. We're going to bring you all the way over here. Hey, that's looking good. You shoot the grenadiers. You guys are going to shoot the grenadiers. Could we potentially get to fire in their flank? You're going to move a little bit back. That's fine. You don't need to run. Okay, we are coming under fire. That's understandable. Okay, I'm not too worried about our left flank there. Okay, we are being shot. Our Freikorps Jägers here are under a lot of pressure. But so are their Grenadiers. And looks like they're moving to the right here fairly significantly. Okay, these Jägers need to move out, otherwise these Grenadiers are going to shoot their backs. Okay, move a bit to the back here. Okay, these guys are going to be dead. Are these Jägers engaging them? No, they're not. You're catching your breath, that's fine. You're still being shot here. You are soon going to come into the range of the lifeguard, at which point you're going to be just dead. Come on, Feldjägers. Yeah, nice. Shoot once more into their backs as they're retreating. That's perfectly acceptable. Right, turn around. Okay, they've got a bit of a mosh pit going on in the middle here. Our left flank is doing fine. Curious that they're advancing so close to us. Jägers, you're fine. You need to turn around a little bit. All of you guys need to turn around a little bit, I suppose. Okay, that's interesting. Right, let's briefly consider our Jäger force. Right. Fall just in front of our line. This is looking fine. This is looking fine. Yeah, they are advancing on us. Okay, shoot the guys with the general. Brief look here on this flank, because I think there's an opportunity here. Right. Left flank, holding out, as I thought it would. Center is under a lot of pressure, but our pioneers here are dealing damage at very long distances, so that's lovely to see. Right, you're going to be engaging these guys. The goons are coming up here. Come on, shoot, shoot, shoot. You've got excellent reload time. Shoot them with your buckshot. You don't carry buckshot, you carry quartered muskets or something. Musket balls. Okay, these guys are doing fine here. Come on, you're going to have another shot here. Bam, 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 bam. Guess we can try to get the hussars in. Notice how their cavalry is converging on us here. That's fine. Good. Okay, perfect. You guys shift targets. Oh, it's just so nice to see our infantry holding out so well. And I really like the position that we took on the left here, because it's basically anchoring us very well against their forces. Right. Let's briefly take our artillery. Yeah, you're engaging them. That's lovely. Okay, you guys need to envelop a little bit better here, so that we can counter the cavalry that is going to charge in here at some point. Okay, you actually need to form a line against these guys. And then the dragoons are going to watch your flank, and the hussars are going to be here in case they directly charge us at us. Which would be a horrible mistake for them. But yeah, we're doing so well over here. I did not expect that. I was super nervous coming in. I'm feeling very confident now. Okay, they're coming in directly for us. That's okay. You guys hold fire. You guys are holding fire anyway. You're gonna be... My friends, I think you're making a mistake here. Charging in like that. Because you're gonna come under fire from a lot of grenadiers. These Cossacks are not gonna make it towards us, are they? Come on, shoot. I was expecting these guys to shoot. Okay, yeah, they did. Fantastic. Cuirassiers are coming in. Jägers, do shoot at the Cuirassiers. Grenadiers, do wheel around and do that fast. Dragoons, do try to form a backup over there. Hussars, make your way over here, and you guys get ready to shoot. Hussars? Yes! They won't even make it towards our Jäger line. We lost 12 men. Only 12 men. Ah. This almost feels too easy. This is supposed to be the great finale. Where's the entire enemy line? Okay, they are charging into our left here. And our center, actually. Okay, the cuirassiers, I think, need to do the counter charge. You're shooting, you're shooting. You're not currently shooting. You need to turn around a little bit. You guys should be shooting. Yeah, if you could, if I could get a canister shot into charging artillery, into charging cavalry, that would be fairly fantastic. Ha ha ha! Lovely. Okay, cuirassiers over here. These guys are not going to be able to charge through the river, I think. Not against lifeguard. Okay, notice these guys are apparently not able to go up against us. We, not against them. Okay. Let them shoot. And right after that, you're going to cross the river over here. And they shoot. We go. We run. We get our hussars across. Right flank. Lovely. Good. Run. You're dealing with them. You can also be dealing with them, please. They're wheeling around. Yeah, they're going to be gone for. Otherwise, I would have made a charge. And I think, speaking of a charge, I think we will find that these guys over here are going to be subject to something that they won't like. Run across. Throw the grenades. Throw the grenades. Come on. You throw grenades, you shoot. And they retreat, and it is victory. I wanted to do a charge here on the last thing. Okay, it is victory. We are carrying the day, and I don't even think we took 2,000 casualties. Our discipline in standing our line was fantastic over here. Yeah, I think the money is pretty meaningless, as is the equipment, but it's nice to get that. We lost 700 men against 13,000. Well, against 22,000, of which 13,000 were killed. Yeah, we have everything that we need. We're going to go for the veterancy, even if it doesn't matter at all. But I'd just like to get everyone leveled up. And I think it's spread around everyone, even the guys who have too much. But look at that. We are... Man, oh man, victory! Reinforcements, General. Although the enemy headquarters fallen, their resolve has not. A fresh host has marched into the region, swift and determined to reclaim what was lost. They are already in pursuit, driving hard upon our trail. There will be no respite until this new army is broken. Rally the men. Keep discipline in the ranks and prepare for the one last trial. I did not know that that was happening. Victory here will silence all opposition. So there is another battle that is coming up against 21,000 men. Ooh, I did not know that that would happen. I was maybe a bit too cocky in just spending everything. But yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm happy that we took the reinforcements now. I'm gonna check in between episodes whether there's anything else here that is just slightly better than the stuff that we are carrying. I think there might be some like roads here that are not perfect or stuff. But yeah, for example, we can exchange these. I'm gonna check that in between episodes. But for now, what do you thought of that battle? It felt too easy, but on the other hand, we've been preparing so well. And I really liked our position. I really liked our central linchpin there with the pioneers. They were holding out so well. We were lucky initially with them overextending their artillery and our sharpshooters jumping in and just getting them. I should have checked who did the most damage. You guys can of course just rewind the video. I'm gonna do that too, but I can't talk about that now because I don't have that information. But yeah, fantastic work here by everyone. Congratulations, men. That was fantastic. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.